Breaking news! The Baltimore Ravens offseason has sparked significant debate among fans and analysts, with potential moves that could reshape the team heading into the 2025 NFL season. One of the most controversial topics revolves around the future of one of the team's most important players, tight end Mark Andrews. Is Andrews preparing to leave? I'll tell you everything that's been going on behind the scenes. But first, make sure you've hit the like button if you agree that Mark Andrews is an excellent player and has helped us a lot. If possible, comment like this: "Stay Mark Andrews. The Baltimore Ravens need you." Despite his pivotal role as the franchise leader in touchdown receptions, there's growing speculation that the Ravens may consider trading him. Why? The answer lies in their financial strategy. Andrews is entering a contract year with a $16.9 million salary cap hit, a $5.9 million dead cap hit, and a $4 million roster bonus due on March 16th. Cutting or trading him would save Baltimore $1 million, a decision not made lightly. The Ravens currently hold $17.3 million in salary cap space, ranking 23rd in the league. While that may seem like a decent amount, it limits their ability to address other important areas. Andrews' value on the field is undeniable, but from a financial standpoint, the timing could make sense for a trade. It's not about his performance, despite some costly mistakes in the Bills game, including a fumble and a drop tackle, but rather a pragmatic view of the team's salary cap flexibility. What do you think, Ravens fans? Should Baltimore let one of its most iconic players go in the name of financial freedom? Another critical discussion revolves around left tackle Ronnie Stanley. After battling injuries for years, Stanley had a remarkable comeback season, playing in all 17 games for the first time since 2020. His pass blocking grades placed him among the top 20 tackles in the league, a testament to his impact on the offensive line. However, retaining Stanley will come at a price. As the top tackle on the market, his projected contract could reach 3 years and $60 million, a hefty investment for a player with a history of injuries. Jeremy Fowler has pointed out that the Ravens haven't shied away from younger options on the offensive line in the past, which raises the question of whether they'll make an exception for Stanley. Consistency on the line is vital for Lamar Jackson's success, and Stanley has proven he can provide that. Should Baltimore prioritize re-signing him, or is it time to explore other options? Shifting gears to the pass rush, the Ravens defense delivered strong numbers in 2024, finishing second in sacks with 54 and fifth in sack percentage at 7.7%. Yet, a deeper analysis reveals underlying issues. Baltimore ranked 29th in pass rush win rate and dead last in average time to pressure, exposing vulnerabilities that need addressing. Drafting a high-impact edge rusher could be the solution. Prospects like Jack Sawyer, James Pierce Jr., and Jalen Walker are potential targets for the Ravens' 27th overall pick. Among them, Pierce stands out with his high ceiling and physical traits, despite being considered a riskier choice. With the draft approaching, how important is it for the Ravens to bolster their pass rush early in the draft? Offensive coordinator Todd Monken's future is another pressing matter. Under his guidance, Baltimore's offense achieved historic numbers, ranking as the second-best offense in NFL history based on expected points added, EPA. Lamar Jackson thrived, Derrick Henry had a resurgent season, and Zay Flowers posted career-best numbers. Despite some questionable calls during the playoffs, Monken's impact is undeniable. Other teams have noticed, with the Jaguars, Bears, and Raiders expressing interest in him for head coaching roles. Keeping Monken in Baltimore could be key to maintaining offensive consistency. Should the Ravens do everything possible to retain him? Finally, the wide receiver position is an area of focus for the offseason. While the Ravens boast dynamic playmakers like Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman, they lack a big-bodied receiver who can win contested catches. Free agent options like DeAndre Hopkins, Keenan Allen, and Josh Palmer could provide Lamar Jackson with a different dimension in the passing game. Adding a veteran presence could balance the receiving core and create more opportunities for Jackson to shine. Who do you think Baltimore should target in free agency? With so many pivotal decisions ahead, this offseason could define the Ravens' trajectory for years to come. From potential trades to key signings and draft strategies, every move matters. Ravens fans, now it's your turn. What do you think the team should prioritize? Should they trade Mark Andrews, re-sign Ronnie Stanley, focus on a pass rusher in the draft, or pursue a top-tier wide receiver? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Looking ahead, there's no doubt that the Baltimore Ravens are at a crossroads. Each decision they make this offseason carries the weight of their championship aspirations for 2025. While the discussions surrounding Mark Andrews, Ronnie Stanley, and the draft are already heated, let's dive deeper into why these moves could either set the team up for glory or potentially backfire. The Mark Andrews situation is a delicate one. Trading away a player who has consistently been one of Lamar Jackson's favorite targets and a cornerstone of the offense is not something fans will take lightly. Andrews' chemistry with Jackson, particularly in crucial moments, has been a hallmark of the Ravens' success in recent years. But it's hard to ignore the financial reality. If the team chooses to retain him, it's a clear message that Baltimore is all in on maximizing their current offensive core. On the other hand, trading him could open up cap space to address multiple other positions, but at what cost? Replacing Andrews' productivity and leadership isn't guaranteed, even with the savings. The Ravens need to weigh whether short-term sacrifices are worth the long-term flexibility. What do you think, Ravens flock? Would you be willing to see Andrews leave for the chance to build a more balanced roster? As for Ronnie Stanley, his resurgence has been a feel-good story for the Ravens. After years of setbacks due to injuries, Stanley's return to form has been a stabilizing force for an offensive line tasked with protecting one of the league's most dynamic quarterbacks. But here's the challenge. Stanley's next contract won't be cheap, and his age, combined with his injury history, makes it a gamble. However, quality left tackles don't grow on trees, and the potential loss of Stanley could create a massive hole that's nearly impossible to fill. If Baltimore decides to move on from Stanley, they'll need a rock-solid contingency plan, whether through the draft or free agency. It's a high-risk, high-reward scenario that will undoubtedly divide opinions. Ravens fans, should the team bet on Stanley's durability and leadership, or is it time to prepare for the next era on the offensive line? Turning our attention to the pass rush, the numbers paint an intriguing picture. While the Ravens excelled in total sacks, their inability to consistently pressure quarterbacks quickly has been a glaring issue. In today's NFL, where elite QBs can dissect a defense in mere seconds, a strong pass rush is non-negotiable. Drafting a young edge rusher with high upside could be the key to solving this problem. Imagine pairing a first-round talent like James Pierce Jr. with veterans already on the roster. Pierce's explosiveness and potential to disrupt plays early could transform the Ravens' defense into a dominant force. But the draft is always unpredictable. There's no guarantee that Pierce or any other top prospect will be available when the Ravens are on the clock. Should the team prioritize a pass rusher in the first round or look for value later in the draft? Let us know what you do. On the offensive side, Todd Monken's potential departure looms large. His innovative play calling revitalized the Ravens' attack, showcasing just how lethal Lamar Jackson and company can be. Losing Monken would undoubtedly be a blow, but the team might need to start preparing for that possibility. Finding an offensive coordinator who can seamlessly continue building on Monken's system will be crucial if he takes one of the head coaching offers on the table. Continuity is key, especially with a quarterback like Jackson who thrives when he's given the freedom to operate within a dynamic and versatile system. Should the Ravens fight to keep Monken at all costs, or start scouting the next offensive mastermind? As we wrap up, it's clear that this offseason will shape not just the 2025 season, but potentially the future of the Ravens for years to come. Every decision, from trades to signings and draft picks, carries significant weight. Ravens Nation, we want to hear from you. Which moves would you make if you were in Eric DeCosta's shoes? Should the team focus on retooling around its core, or take bold steps to rebuild key areas? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinions are what fuel this community. Let's keep the conversation going as we gear up for what promises to be one of the most critical off seasons in Ravens history. Go Ravens!